Chapter 7, Poison Ivy. On the way to class, Stephanie's phone beeps and she brings it out of the pocket of her jeans to check it. Just then, she bumps into someone, but luckily for her, her phone doesn't leave her grip. She looks up to see the person she bumped into, only to find a very furious-looking Ivy glaring at her. "You bitch! Are you blind or something?" Ivy yells. Poison Ivy. "I'm so..." "Shut that trap you call a mouth!" Ivy yells again. Stephanie shuts up and couldn't help but roll her eyes. "Who are you anyway?" Ivy asks snootily. "I'm pretty sure she's a loser." Aspen, her best friend, more like her minion, snickers beside her. "Are you a transfer student or something? I've never seen your pathetic face before, not that I'll want to," Ivy bellows. Yeah. I'm glad you've never seen me before, but it's so unfortunate I see you often. Who wants to be scrutinized by your bitchy eyes?" Stephanie says in a head. She continues to look down. She doesn't want Ivy to mark her face for oppression. "Answer me, you bitch!" Ivy yells. "Oh wow. She's blind and mute at the same time," Aspen says. "What's going on here?" A different voice asks that makes Stephanie look up finally. Ivy immediately wipes every sign of anger or bitchiness on her face. "Hey babe," she beams at Luke, who asked the question. Luke ignores her. "What's going on here?" he asks again. "Nothing, darling. We just bumped into each other and I was trying to apologize to her," Ivy lies smoothly. Stephanie doesn't react because she knows Ivy hides her real personality from Luke. Luke doesn't look convinced but decides not to argue. He's pretty sure that he just heard Ivy yelling. Who would be trying to apologize to someone and be yelling? "I'm sorry about that," Luke tells Stephanie, who has her head back to facing the ground. She nods and scurries away, not without noticing the glare from Ivy. Idiot! Her real name should be Poison Ivy or Ivy Bitch or something. She's the pathetic one, Stephanie muses. And Luke is oblivious. She walks into her first class. Luckily for her, she isn't late after that drama. A few moments later, Luke walks in. He sits at the front and then the teacher enters a few minutes later. After class ends, Stephanie stares at her note for a while, and when she believes everyone is out, she looks up only to meet Luke standing right in front of her. "Hi." He smiles. "What is going on?" Stephanie asks herself. Could Brooke have been right about her new look, or rather haircut? About it attracting guys? About it getting her attention? If not, why would Luke be saying hi to her? She keeps thinking without answering Luke. "Hey!" Luke snaps his fingers in her face. Hi," she replies reluctantly. "I'm sorry about earlier with Ivy. She isn't always like that. I don't know what came over her," he says apologetically. Stephanie almost drops her jaw. He's apologizing for his bitch of a girlfriend. She's not always like that? Stephanie scoffs internally. He doesn't even know the real Ivy. Well, she's trying her best to hide it. Gosh, Ivy doesn't deserve someone like Luke. "It's okay," she replies. "I'm Luke." He offers his hand. "I know that already," she muses. She hesitates before taking his hand. "Stephanie. Nice to meet you. I don't think I've seen you before, but you kinda look familiar," he says as they shake hands. Stephanie shrugs. "Nice to meet you too, but we've spoken before." "Really? When?" "At Jason's party. I took you to Wasted Coal," she explains. Oh. It was you," Luke exclaims before frowning. "But..." "I got a haircut," she cuts him off. That explains it. Stephanie stands with her backpack and puts her things in it. "I have to go. Don't want to be late for my next class." "Oh, okay. Thanks for Friday night. See you around," Luke answers as she walks out of the class. She stops at the doorway and looks at him. You should get to class too, she tells him and hurries away. She hurries to her next class without stopping at her locker. She enters and takes a seat towards the back. She then looks around to see if she has the class with anyone dramatic, but she doesn't. Throughout his first class, Christopher could barely concentrate. He keeps his eyes trained on the girl with the long black hair. He can't wait for class to be over so he can talk to Hazel. He's really surprised he found her this quickly. He expected a little struggle to find her. When the bell rings for the next class, Chris hurriedly packs his things and follows the girl down the hallway. Hey, he yells, but she keeps walking. He nears her and taps her on the shoulder. He has a smirk plastered on his face. She turns around and he stops smirking when he sees her face. She isn't Hazel. He should have sensed it. Hi, the girl says flirtatiously. Is she flirting right now? He called her. He should be the one making the move, he thinks. Chris. She calls when he doesn't answer. Sorry. I thought you were someone else, Christopher tells her. She moves closer and touches his chest. I can be anyone you want, she says flirtatiously. Gotta go, Chris says and walks away. He knows it wouldn't be that easy to find Hazel. He'll just have to keep looking. He walks the hallway heading towards his locker. He sees Ivy with Aspen and a scowl appears on his face. He doesn't acknowledge them, but Ivy notices him and smirks. He finishes at his locker and walks to his next class. He must find Hazel. He will find her. He has to. But why does he want to find her so badly? He has no idea, but he just knows that he must find her and he'll make sure of it. When the bell rings for lunch, Stephanie leaves her class for her locker. She meets Brooke waiting for her there. Hey B, she says as she opens her locker. You wouldn't believe what happened today, Brooke tells her. Stephanie closes her locker and turns around to face Brooke. Oh, let me guess, Stephanie exclaims. Jason spoke to you today or Cole asked you out? Brooke frowns. No. You guessed wrong. Cole asked me to join him for lunch. Stephanie's eyes widen slightly. Really? Yeah. And what did you say? Stephanie probes. I declined his invitation, Brooke tells her. What? Are you insane? Stephanie almost yells. You like him and you didn't agree to sit with him for lunch? Stephanie looks bemused. She doesn't understand why Brooke did that. I do like him, but you're forgetting something, Brooke deadpans. What? Poison Ivy sits at his table, Brooke deadpans again. Realization dawns on her and she calms down, seeing the reason. Oh. She trails off. I didn't realize that, but you should have agreed and you'll ignore her. Nope. You know I really don't like her and I don't want her type of drama in my life, Brooke elaborates. I understand, B. I bumped into her this morning. She wanted to skin me alive. Stephanie shakes her head slightly. No, scratch that. She buried me 6 feet under the ground with her eyes. She adds with a sigh of irritation. Bitch, Brooke snickers and they both start laughing. B? Yeah. I don't want to eat in the cafeteria today. I'm not hungry. I'll just go to the library, Stephanie says apologetically. It's no big deal. Let's go together. Who wants to eat in a cafe filled with assholes anyway? Brooke replies dryly. Including Cole? Stephanie raises her eyebrows. Brooke shrugs in response. No, B. Go and have lunch. I'll be fine. Stephanie disagrees. No way, Steph. Let's go. Brooke insists and drags her towards the library. Stephanie smiles grateful, she has such a great friend. The real reason she doesn't want to go to the cafe is because she doesn't want to be in the same room as Chris right now. She thanks her lucky stars that she doesn't share any classes with him today. Chapter 8, Emily. By the end of the day, Christopher became frustrated. He hasn't found Hazel. He is yet to find Hazel. He is really frustrated, but he doesn't know why. He didn't even see her nor her friend Brooke at the cafeteria during lunch. Everyone eats there, don't they? He couldn't even concentrate on the conversation going on at his table. He didn't see her in any of his classes either, but that doesn't surprise him because he guessed that they don't share any classes. Little did he know. When the school closed, he looked around for a bit in the hallways, and then a brilliant idea struck him. He went to the parking lot in hope of finding Hazel. Unfortunately for him, the girls he is looking for already left the lot before he got there. As Brooke was driving her and Stephanie out of the school's parking lot, Chris was just approaching it. They drove past him, but they didn't notice. Neither did he. He had his eyes trained on somewhere else. After staying a while in the lot, he entered his car and drove out of school. Now, he is on his way to pick up his little sister who is in 4th grade from school. He loves her. He approaches her with his car on a bench outside the school. She grins when she sees him and stands up. He stops the car and hops out. "Chris!" His sister yells and jumps into his arms. "Hello, Emily. Missed me?" he asks as he hugs her back after lifting her in his arms. "Yeah, I missed you," Emily replies, grinning with her tiny sweet voice. "Chris missed you too. Now let's get you home," he says. He puts her in the passenger seat and buckles her seatbelt. He shuts the door and gets in the driver's seat. Then he starts the car after buckling his seatbelt. "So how was school today, Em?" he asks her, giving her a quick glance as he drives them home. "It was nice," Emily shrugs. "Can you take me to the park on Saturday?" she asks. "Sure. Why?" "I have a play date with my best friend," she answers. "Nora?" "Yes." She smiles. "Okay. I'll take you to the park on Saturday then." "Thanks, Chris." "You're welcome, Em." He smiles and reaches over with his free hand to ruffle her blonde hair. She swats his hand away and he laughs. They finally reach their house and Chris parks the car in the driveway. He gets out and walks over to the passenger side. He carries Emily out and helps her with her lunchbox. They enter the house and Chris drops her down from his arms. "Mom!" he yells. "Yes, honey," his mom replies from the kitchen. "We're back," Chris says as if it isn't obvious. Emily drops her backpack and runs into the kitchen. Chris follows her slowly and finds her in their mom's arms when he enters the kitchen. He smiles at the sight in front of him. He loves to see his mom happy because she has been through some tough times. His mom reaches out to hug Chris with her free hand. She pulls him towards her and kisses him on the cheek. "Welcome, honey," she says. "Thanks, Mom," Chris replies as they separate. "How was school, Pumpkin?" she asks Emily. "It was nice," Emil smiles. Chris turns around and heads up to his room. "Want a sandwich, Chris?" he hears his mom yell. "Sure, Mom. I'll be down in a few minutes," he answers and goes into his room. He drops his backpack and sits on the edge of his bed. He brings out his phone and decides to check Facebook. He logs in and sees a lot of friend requests with a lot of messages from girls. Girls from school? Not from school? He doesn't know. But he's pretty sure he has hooked up with most of them, if not all. And the rest might be trying to hook up with him. Same old thing. He logs out and locks his phone. He isn't ready to deal with all of that. And why the hell do they bother to send messages when they know he wouldn't reply? He runs a frustrated hand through his brown locks and sighs. He drops his phone on the nightstand and walks out of his room. He joins his mum and Emily in the living room as they eat some sandwiches while watching TV. Chris wishes his mum finds someone and moves on. Someone who would love her till death so she'll not have to go through that heartbreak again. Emily thankfully doesn't ask about her dad. She doesn't ask to see him. Luckily for them, when they told her that dad left, she understood. She was upset at first but soon forgot about him. Her mom has always been there for her, and Chris fills in as her dad, though he's her big brother. Seems she has heard about divorce from her classmates. She says some of her friends only have a single parent. Chris is really happy Emily doesn't bug them about her dad. If she does, he would hate his dad more than he already does, if that is possible. Christopher's mom was heartbroken when she found out her ex-husband was cheating on her. But what hurt the most was when he filed for a divorce. Many times, she actually forgave him to save their marriage. But he had different plans because eventually, he filed for a divorce. A freaking divorce. She agreed, but that doesn't mean she stopped loving him. She still does. Every time she remembers him, she can't help but feel nostalgic. She sees him in her son. Instead of feeling bad and hating him for the pain he has caused her and her kids, she thinks about all the good times they spent together. She's grateful to him for one thing though, for giving her her 2 lovely kids. And she's grateful he didn't decide to take them with him. She has the feeling that the divorce was hard on Chris, but she hopes it hasn't changed him in any way. Since then, Chris detests people that cheat on their partners. It didn't help matters when his girlfriend cheated on him in freshman year. Since then, she hasn't seen her son with any girl again. He has never introduced her to any girl again, and yet he doesn't bring any girl home. He seems to be sworn off girls, but she hopes that is not the case. There are genuine people out there. People who love with their whole hearts and do not cheat or intend to hurt others. She hopes he hasn't given up on love. Unknown to Chris' mother, he is a first-class player in school. Truth be told, he has never brought any girl home since Ivy, but he still hooks up with girls. He does it at a party or their houses, but his mum doesn't know that. She doesn't need to know. Whenever he's out, he tells her that he's at a friend's place and she believes him. The way he parties doesn't bother her cause obviously, he's in his last year of high school and she knows what she did during hers. As long as he stays out of trouble, she's fine with it. Mom? Yes, honey, his mom replies him. Has Emily told you about the play date with Nora? He asks. Yeah, she has. Emily isn't paying attention to them. The TV has her full attention without even asking. Chris sits with them for a while before returning to his room. When inside the room, he plops himself on his bed and stares at the ceiling. Images of the kiss with Hazel flood his head and he smiles unknowingly. He must find Hazel. He sits up, picks up his phone from the nightstand, and enters the passcode. What if he tries to find her on a social media platform? Yikes! That can't happen because he doesn't even know her real name. But what if her name is coincidentally Hazel? Her parents could have named her that because of her eyes. Well, he could try to find Brooke, her supposed friend. He just needs her last name. He immediately dials Jason, who picks on the second ring. Dude! Jason exclaims. I didn't see you after school today. Sorry. I had to leave. I was in a hurry, Chris replies, pinching the bridge of his nose. Okay, man. What's up? Well, I was wondering if I could get Brooke's last name from you. Brooke? Jason asks, surprise evident in his voice. Brooke from school? Our grade. Yeah. Do you know her last name? Chris asks hopefully. Wait. Let me see. Jason says as if trying to remember something. Yeah. I don't know, man. Let me ask a few people from school. Sure. Thanks, dude, Chris replies, a little hopeful. The call ends and Chris exhales. After a few calls to people by Jason, he finally calls Chris. Chris answers immediately. It's Dawson. Brooke Dawson. Jason tells him. Thanks. See you tomorrow. Chris replies happily. Sure. Jason says before hanging up. Chapter 9, What Party? It has been a week now since everything happened. The party, the game, and then the kiss. Just as Stephanie expected, things haven't changed, or rather, didn't change. Everything has been normal. Stephanie sees Chris every day, but as usual, he's oblivious to her existence. She didn't hope for anything to change, and no, she hasn't suddenly fallen in love with Christopher just because of a kiss. That would be outrageous. He's still the very same to her. The player with all other qualities she has tied to him. But now, one thing has been added to her list about him: he is the one she had the best kiss of her life with. She isn't suddenly pining over him. No. She isn't. That kiss didn't change her thoughts about him. Not one bit. Now it's Friday and school is over. She and Brooke are heading towards their ride. Brooke's car. "What plans do you have for the weekend?" Brooke asks her. "Plans? None that I know of," she replies gently. Then she remembers. "Although, I did promise my neighbor to help her walk her dog tomorrow," she adds. "My dad is taking my mom and me out tomorrow. He said it's a surprise," Brooke says excitedly. It is at times like this that Stephanie wishes her parents aren't so into their work. It's in times like this that she misses Brody so abysmally. Sometimes she wonders how different everything would be if her parents aren't so into their jobs. "I asked Dad if you can come along and he agreed," Brooke says, oblivious to the thoughts in Stephanie's head. "That's so nice, B. But thanks, I won't be coming along," she replies. "Why?" Brooke asks unhappily. "I don't want to intrude." Brooke cuts her off. "You won't be intruding. Your family too, Steph." Stephanie smiles at that, but still declines the offer, which Brooke isn't the least bit pleased with. She just can't join them. It's moments like this that are supposed to be for them, as a family, no intruders. She just spent her day watching Netflix and not forgetting to walk her neighbor's dog. Her parents would be back by Sunday. It's just a matter of time. This week has been a whole lot of frustration for Chris. He has searched for Hazel, and he still is, but it seems as if she vanished from the face of the earth. As if that night didn't happen. Maybe she doesn't go to their school, but Brooke said she does. All the times they'd pass each other in the hallways, Chris didn't notice. They even shared a few classes to get during the week, but something always distracted him when she was about to enter the class. And with her short hair now, he doesn't know it's her from behind. You could say fate is playing a cruel game on him. After getting Brooke's last name on Monday, he searched for her until he finally found her on a social media platform. Facebook to be precise. That's after going through some other Brooke Dawsons. He checked the whole of her friends list, carefully looking at the girl's profile pictures. Pretty creepy, right? Only a crazy person would do that, but Chris did it. Well, his result was that none of the girls looked anything close to Hazel, and it drove him crazy. It still does. He was eagle-eyed throughout the week at school. When he thought he'd have to struggle a little to find her, he didn't expect it to be this tough. It has been a week. A week. Right now, he is on a couch in Jason's house. He followed him to his house after school to collect something. "Dude, what's up? What's bothering you?" Jason asks as he comes back into the living room. "Nothing is bothering me," Chris immediately answers, trying to deny it. He becomes bothered that it's obvious that something is bothering him. Jason looks at him, disbelief clear in his eyes. "I know when something's bothering you," Jason speaks up. Chris sighs as if defeated. You'd think he's about to talk, to tell Jason what the problem is, but instead he says, "It's nothing serious, bro. I'll sort it out." "You sure?" Jason asks with uncertainty. "Should I tell him?" Chris asks himself within. "What would he think of me? He might think I'm crazy. I'll just sort it out myself, as I've said." After concluding in his mind, Chris manages a smile. "I'm sure." After that conversation, Chris walks out with Jason to his driveway where his car is parked. "Don't forget the party tonight," Jason says to him as he enters his car. Chris stops and questions, "What party?" "Oh, my goddess!" Jason exclaims in a falsetto voice. "Did Christopher Hayes forget about a party? A freaking party?" Jason's eyes widen as he exclaims. "You and parties are literally attached at the hip. He adds. Christopher rubs the back of his neck absent-mindedly, quite puzzled that he forgot about a party. I don't know, dude. I guess it's what I'm trying to sort out that made it slip my mind. He says, admitting to himself that finding Hazel made him forget about the party. Holy moly. Didn't think a day like this would ever come, Jason comments and begins to laugh. You better sort whatever it is before it makes you lose your mind, Jason adds. I think it's already making me go crazy, Chris mutters under his breath. What was that? Nothing. I'd be there. Text me the address, Chris says as he hops into the car. Whatever you say, dude. Jason smirks and watches him pull out of his driveway. Chris drives straight to Emily's school to pick her up. Sorry I'm late, kiddo. I had to make a quick stop. He apologizes to Emily as he drives them home. You're forgiven, Emily grins. Chris smiles at that. Chris doesn't want to be here, but he needed something to get his mind off some things, and it isn't working. It's not working at all. He hopes something good comes out of attending this party tonight. Right now, he's on the couch with Jason and his girlfriend talking beside him. He lifts his cup to his lips and takes a sip. He's drinking orange juice. He isn't interested in drinking alcohol tonight. But it sure would feel good to get drunk and then face the hangover later. Even when he drinks reasonably, making sure not to get too drunk. Tipsy? Yes, but not drunk. He looks around him as the party is in full swing. It was Jason's girlfriend that invited them. Someone from her school is throwing the party. He gulps the rest of his drink and stands up to leave them. Yo! I'm heading to the kitchen. Gotta feel this up, he slightly yells over the music to Jason while raising his cup a little. Jason nods and Chris walks away. He goes into the kitchen and meets people there. He reaches the refrigerator and pours himself more orange juice from a carton. He turns around to find a blonde standing in front of him. Hi, she says chirpy. Hey, Chris replies, looking behind her to see a girl walking out with black hair. I'm Piper, the blonde says, stretching her hand for a handshake. Chris. He takes her hand. She holds his hand longer than necessary and rubs it as if trying to give him a signal. Chris momentarily looks at their joined hands and then back at her face. I know that already, Piper says. Like who the hell doesn't know Christopher Hayes? Ever since she has seen him, she has made it her ultimate goal to have him. Okay? Wanna dance? Piper asks, batting her eyelashes. Actually, I can't. I just came to get a drink for someone and the person is waiting. He'd be pissed off if I delay. Chris lies. He just wants to get away from her. He doesn't want female attention right now. Oh, okay. See you around, Chris, she says as she begins to walk away, swaying her hips along. You too, Piper. He walks out of the kitchen to join Jason in the living room. He's still engrossed in chatting with his girlfriend and doesn't notice Chris. After some seconds, they begin to kiss. Chris groans and heads to the back of the house. He begins to wonder if Hazel is at this party. If she's here. Nah, he decides. She doesn't seem like the party type. Maybe he met her at Jason's party for a reason. He has tried to find her all week but couldn't. Why is he trying to find her? Why can't he just forget about that kiss? It was just a goddamn kiss and he has had many of it. He has to forget her somehow. He has to. Hey Chris, a girlish voice says behind him.